Good morning, everyone. I'm out here at the terminal getting ready to head into work, so you may hear a little bit of noise. I'm going to try to stop the recording before the machinery passes by, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me. I want to thank you again for your ongoing support of the channel. Again, if you had asked me a few years ago if I was going to be on social media doing any type of content, I would have told you were out of your mind, because it was nowhere on my radar to even be viewing content, let alone creating it. So I thank you for your support on this. Today I want to talk about boss attitude and boss life. Now, some people get it twisted when it comes to boss attitude. Some people have talents and they're afraid to adopt a boss attitude because it has a negative connotation. You can have a boss life and a boss attitude and be good about it. You could be a positive role model and have a boss attitude, and you can encourage others to do the same. But sometimes when people hear boss life, boss attitude, sometimes they feel that it's a negative thing, and they're afraid to adopt it because they feel that they're not going to have any friends, they're not going to have any love, and they just feel that people are going to not want to deal with them, and that it's just got it's just got a bad rap, and it's not true. So I'm going to tell you a few of the things that you can do in order to adapt a boss life that are positive. And it's going to take more than one video, so I kind of hope this helps. And one of the things that you could do in regards to a boss life is, if you're currently working for someone, is to adapt certain habits in regards to work. Understand that when you're working for someone that you are probably getting paid a salary or per hour. Work within the parameters of the time that you're getting paid. Okay? Work within the parameters of the time that you're getting paid. Try to avoid volunteering more than what you're being compensated. It's okay to give a few minutes here and there, but don't make yourself available too much more for the time that you're not getting paid, because you're setting yourself up for a downfall. You're setting yourself up to be taken advantage of, and you don't want that. Now, there's nothing wrong with trying to prove yourself to your boss. There's nothing wrong with trying to prove yourself to your job if you're trying to advance yourself. But if you're working a 40-hour-a-week job and you're given an additional 20 hours of your free time just to try to prove yourself, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You really are. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to give yourself up that many additional hours for a promotion, they're more than likely going to give that promotion to someone else who did not sacrifice that much additional time. Because that's not working smart. And if you are given that promotion, they're probably going to wind up giving you that promotion. They're going to expect. There goes another vehicle passing by. They're going to expect you to get paid that same amount of time that you're working now, and still expect you to work that additional time once you get that promotion. Let's say, for example, hospitality and retail, that's a good industry to use as an example. Let's say that you're a cashier and you're trying to work into management, and right now you're putting in 40 hours a week, and let's say that you're willing to put in the extra 10 or 20 hours extra, running errands or filling in, and you probably are getting the extra overtime or whatever the case may be because you want to get that management position. And that management position is salary, so that means you're going to get the same salary where you get 40 hours or 60 hours. Okay. Well, you finally do get that management position, but that management position, you get paid a little bit more money, but it's not a whole lot extra, but it's still a management position. You do get paid more. Yes, you do. But see, when you wind up getting in a management position, it's more responsibilities and more duties, and you have to wind up filling in for staff when they don't show up. See, because you've already exhibited the fact that you've put in those hours as a cashier, it's going to become expected of you now to put in those extra hours as a manager. So now that stress and strain is upon you. Okay? Let's say that you're just doing a volunteer job. Let's just say that you are, okay, you're not working for someone for money, but let's just say you're volunteering, and in the beginning you're doing 20 hours a week because you enjoy the job. Okay, you enjoy it. Well, the people that you're volunteering with, okay, you've done 20 hours a week, that's no problem. Okay, great. And they appreciate your work. That's wonderful. But the thing is, they've gotten so used to you volunteering, that's great. But then after a while, as you become familiar with what the work is and they've gotten used to you, after a while, they start heaping more work on you as if you are an employee, and then all of a sudden, they want you to come in and do more volunteer work, and all of a sudden 20 hours turns into 30 hours, and then all of a sudden the volunteer work, you don't feel like that it's volunteer work anymore. All of a sudden it starts to feel more like a job. So there goes another vehicle. So now that joy that you feel in giving as a volunteer, it becomes more of a chore. Your heart is not in it anymore. See, your attitude starts to change when the expectations of you change. See, that's the problem that you run into. So see, you're going to have to develop an attitude of a boss where you're like, okay, you know what? I did this before because I had aspirations and dreams in regards to this particular position. So this is where you're going to have to dial it down. You're going to have to sit down and think to yourself, okay, you know what? This is not turning out to be what I wanted it to be. So you're going to have to take 2 seconds and reevaluate the whole situation. Because what's going to happen is because you've become disillusioned with the situation, you're going to start to think, oh, okay, well, this was a bad move. This wasn't meant to be what it was supposed to be. Maybe I should leave it alone. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should change your attitude in regards to it. Okay? So this is where the boss attitude has to kick in. Now, see, for instance, I work for a transit company, and I run into a whole lot of people that want to ask questions in regards to what's going on, because I'm in a customer service position. So what I try to do is I try to steer clear of people when I'm off the clock as far as, customer service. It's not that I'm trying to be difficult or anything like that, but I'm compensated on an hourly basis. And between those hours, I do my duties, but when I'm off the clock, I try not to engage in any conversation in regards to work, in regards to customers, because I'm off the clock and I'm not being compensated. Okay? We have to do these things. We have to draw lines. 1 or 2 questions, okay, that's fine. But what will happen is that when people get used to engaging in conversations in regards to work, I'm going to let this bus pass by. Okay, he's passed by now. All right. Using myself as an example, 1 or 2 questions could turn into a whole conversation where all of a sudden you look up and you've engaged in 2 hours worth of conversation, and you were not compensated for off the clock in regards to your job. You see? And don't get me wrong, I have friends who are co-workers, but when we're off the clock, we barely talk about work at all. We talk about our personal lives. We engage in recreational things. I mean, we just don't talk about things in regards to work. And the people who do want to talk about work after work, I don't engage with them after work. I don't. I talk to them at work and, during work, but as far as like engaging with them after work, I don't. But the ones that I do engage with after work, we talk about our personal lives and we do things on a personal basis and we don't talk about work. So I try to keep that same energy as far as, dealing with customers and things on the outside. So That's what a boss attitude is trying to differentiate and separate, because when I'm doing a job, I try to keep that in its context. I want to be compensated for what I do when I am scheduled to do it. And some people might say that's a bitchy attitude to take. Well, sometimes you have to have a bitchy attitude when you're being boss in order to keep things in their place. So I kind of hope this helps someone. But I mean, in the long run, it will assist you. It will assist your bottom line financially, and it'll also help you differentiate as to who your clients are going to be, who your interests are going to be, who your friends are going to be, who your potential clients are going to be. So I kind of hope this helps someone. Have a nice day.